Hey guys, how's it going? Mr. Beta890 here, and today I'm going to be doing my predictions for the Fastlane 2015 pay-per-view. And I decided that I was going to, try something a bit more, something new, something different. And I decided with this, with these videos, that I would add, how I would book the certain matches and ideas and how this would lead into future events. So let's get started with the card. So the first match I will look at is for the tag team titles. I reckon this will probably open the show. The Usos, the tag champions, defending against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. And I'm surprised that they actually they've given they've given these teams sort of a storyline and I say storyline, some TV time anyway. And I reckon this will be a very good match. These guys are all capable of great in-ring work. I mean, I don't see this being an awful match. I think this could potentially be a show stealer. I'm just saying, because the people involved. The Usos have had great matches with the other tag teams, like the Wyatts and Goldust and Stardust and that sort of thing. So this could be a very good match. Who do I see coming out with a win here? The Usos. I see the Usos coming out with a win just because they haven't, made Cesaro and Tyson Kidd look like like they can booked it like they can win it. But having said that, I wouldn't be surprised if they did win. Just as a sort of not really a swerve, but just to kind of shock people in a way. But what I would do is after these teams have feuded at Fastlane, I'd probably put in like a some sort of tag, so maybe like a three-way tag at WrestleMania. It can be on the pre-show, I guess, or something like that. So you have, so at WrestleMania you do the Usos versus Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus maybe the Ascension or the Primetime Players, because I know the Primetime Players are hinting at getting back together. So I reckon the Usos will win and go on to have some sort of multi-man tag match at WrestleMania 31, which would be fine in my opinion, because I think the Usos are just great tag wrestlers, and the tag team division in terms of just in-ring ability is actually pretty good, to be honest. So yeah, Usos going to come out with a win here. So we then move on to a match for the Divas Championship. Nikki Bella defending against Paige. Again, this has actually got a bit of, obviously it hasn't been good sort of build-up. I just think this is kind of a stupid storyline in the way, it's kind of annoys me, because I would definitely say out of all the divas in the WWE, I'd say on the main roster anyway, Paige is probably my favourite, diva. I just like, not just her in-ring ability, but I also think she's got a bit of character to her. Well, she did anyway, when she had the anti-diva kind of thing, but now have the whole, stealing her clothes and stuff, and spraying her with spray tan and stuff. I just think this is not the kind of storyline that I think a Paige should be in. This is not really, I just don't think it's, the right kind of storyline to put her in. I think, I just wish Paige would go back to being more of an anti-diva. I mean, they still call her that sometimes, but she's really doesn't show anything different. I mean, for God's sake, she's on the Total Divas show. And, I just think that's stupid. Sorry about that. I don't know if you can even hear that, but my landline phone went off for a split second. So I don't know if you can hear that or not. But if you can, I apologise for that. So yeah, with this one I'm really not sure, because I could see this match going either way. I'm going to go with Nikki Bella. I would quite like to see Paige win here, just in my opinion, because I'm a fan of Paige. I'd definitely say she's my favourite diva on the main roster. Because the reason why I would have Paige win here, and then at WrestleMania I think I would have a Divas match, where you bring up one of the, this would be a good way to develop a feud with someone like a Charlotte, because Charlotte lost the NXT Women's title, and I have this feeling that Charlotte will be put onto the main roster soon. And, you know, a feud with Paige leading into WrestleMania. We have Charlotte win the belt, maybe. Well, maybe win the belt. But you have a feud with Paige at WrestleMania. I think that would be good for Charlotte, because Charlotte is a tremendous in-ring competitor, and she's also a great athlete. I reckon her and Paige would have a great women's match at WrestleMania, and probably the best women's WrestleMania match, if they, you know, put on a great match. So next we go on to Stardust versus Goldust, and I didn't even know this was going to be a confirmed match until literally I just looked on Wikipedia now just to read off the matches. I don't know. I kind of wish they didn't have a pay-per-view match here, because if they do end up having a WrestleMania match, it won't make it that special. But you know, I guess it kind of makes sense. But obviously, what I think they should do is they should have. I think with this Stardust Goldust match, I really don't know how I'd book this, because I didn't even know this was on the card until just now. So sorry if I'm really kind of not sure what to say here. I'm just gonna go with a Stardust victory, I guess. I really don't know what to say about this match, because I didn't know it was on, so I didn't have time to think about it and stuff. Oh, I'm sorry about that, guys, but that's, you know. So yeah, I'll say Stardust win. They'll have a WrestleMania match where Stardust will probably be Cody Rhodes or something. Yeah, I really don't know about that. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So then we go on to the United States Championship match between Rusev and John Cena, and the way this feud is going, I can just predict where this feud is going, and I really just I would do this feud completely differently. I mean, the build up to it's been actually pretty good. You know, there's been some good back and forth promo segments. I'm fine with Cena going after the US title. If anything, it makes the US title more important. And God knows, the US title hasn't been that important since what, 2003, 2004. So, you know, I don't know. This is nothing wrong with that. So what I would do, what I think is going to happen here, I reckon Rusev will win by some screwy finish, like, I don't know, he gets Cena counted out, or I don't know, something happens, some stupid bullshit finish basically that is really going to piss everyone off, and then they'll probably have Cena and Rusev continue their feud, and then Cena will win at WrestleMania, and Rusev will be defeated, but anyway, it's just, I would not go about the feud that way. This is what I would do. This is how I would book the feud. So you have Rusev and Cena at a Fastlane, you know, and what you do is, because this feud is so, you know, these guys really don't like each other. There's a lot of anger and hate towards each other. This match ends up going into like a no contest. They end up both like fighting all around the arena, you know, just like beating the hell out of each other, you know. So it ends in like a double count out or a no contest or whatever, you know, and then. So yeah, they just keep brawling throughout the night. Like, they keep cutting back different segments, kind of like with Ambrose and Rollins, I guess. But I wouldn't do it exactly the same. But you do it in that sort of way, and then you have you build up to a match at WrestleMania, and then I would have Rusev go over by making Cena kind of pass out to the accolades, but have Cena in there for like ages. Like, he's fighting, and he keeps clawing, but eventually he just passes out because he's in there for so long. But obviously they're not going to go that way, because that's. Actually, you know, they're not going to go that way, unfortunately. So, yeah, sorry about that. I thought I heard a weird noise for a second. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, they'll probably just have some screwy finish here. So I'm going to go with a Rusev victory, by some stupid way. Alright, now we're on to what I assume would be the main event. Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, in which the winner will face Brock Lesnar for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 31. Before I get into this match, I'd just like to say that this feud has actually been built up very well. I think, you know, they've shown good dissension between Reigns and Bryan, having them have to. I can't even speak properly today. Having them, you know, working together, you know, showing sort of the dissension, like, you know, both of them stealing tags from each other, both of them showing their kind of heelish aspects in a way. So yeah, I think this feud's been built up very well. A lot of, obviously, like everyone, I was annoyed at the Royal Rumble, I think, but I was more annoyed in terms of how it was kind of booked, the Rumble, like how, you know, pretty much everyone was just thrown out as if they were a nobody. You know, even like Daniel Bryan, you know, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, even Bray Wyatt, like the guy who eliminated, had an amazing Rumble run, just got sort of tossed, just sort of dropped out there. So yeah, that's kind of what annoyed me about the Rumble. Like, I wasn't annoyed at Roman Reigns winning, to be honest. I know a lot of people. I mean, I wanted Daniel Bryan to win, but if Roman Reigns won, I wasn't gonna, I wouldn't have shat all over it and, talk shit about Roman Reigns, because if I'm gonna be honest, I actually like Roman Reigns, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of shit for that, but I just think the way they're booking his character is so dumb. But it's gotten a lot better in recent weeks, in my opinion. He stopped doing the stupid, promos, or like the Jack and the Beanstalk promo actually was just god awful to sit through, and then the other promo where he made loads of superhero references, and then he made that bullet noise where he went Shoo! That was just hilarious. I would have died from that, just with laughter. But yeah, I think in recent weeks he's been built up a lot better. He comes across as more of just a badass and not necessarily just that kind of stupid John Cena kiddie comedy. So I think Roman Reigns' character is a lot better, and I think people are being very harsh on him, in my opinion. I know I'll get a lot of shit for that, and I'll be like, oh, you're sucking Roman Reigns' dick and stuff, and whatever. It's my opinion, and whatever. So and again, but just for the record, if you don't know me that well, I am a Daniel Bryan fan. Daniel Bryan's my favourite wrestler on the roster today. He's one of my favourites of all time. I really like Daniel Bryan, but I don't think he should win the match at Fastlane, simply because it just kind of, in my opinion, it ruins the idea of the Royal Rumble. And if you just have Bryan win and then, go on to WrestleMania, it's just not really, it ruins the point of the Rumble, and again, obviously I would like to see Bryan wrestle in the main event, but last year I really wanted Bryan to wrestle in the main event, I really wanted that, but this year I'm not pushing for it as much. I wouldn't be as pissed off, because I just think Bryan had his moment last year. I was happy with it. It'd be good for him to have another moment again, but I just think if they're already going with Roman Reigns, if they're already going with Roman Reigns, you might as well just stick with it, because at the end of the day, Roman Reigns is going to be pushed as the guy anyway, so you might as well allow him to have a chance at WrestleMania to wrestle Lesnar. So I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to win here. But I wouldn't mind Bryan winning, but I just think it would kind of, make the Royal Rumble a bit pointless, and it would, so. And also I just think another thing is, whenever people always talk about, WWE need to push new stars, and, let's be honest, WWE are shit at doing that. Unless your name's John Cena, you're not going anywhere, really. Yeah, unless you're a John Cena or a Randy Orton, I guess a Daniel Bryan now, but you're not really going anywhere. So the fact they're finally pushing a young guy, surely we should get behind that, I think, because people always say, oh, you need to push this guy, get behind the young guys. And then they're actually doing it, and people are like, oh, no, not that one. So, I'm fine with Roman Reigns being pushed, because I like Roman Reigns. I think he's got a lot of potential. And, I think the match with Lesnar could work, and I think it would be interesting to see. And, hell, Roman doesn't even have to win at WrestleMania. You could have Lesnar win the match, and then Rollins cash in straight away. So, and I think having Roman Reigns lose would actually get, people to like him a bit more. But, anyway, that's just my opinion. So, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more, please like and subscribe.